December's messages are really about getting to know yourself, cleaning up shop, cleaning up house, understanding what's serving you, what's not, understanding what it is that you need to do or who it is that you need to be in order to be your best self, right? Hello, friends. Welcome back to Max's House, your house of transformative wellness, where we are changing our lives to be well and allowing our wellness to change our lives. Now, last video we talked about December updates and savings. So I'm happy to announce that Max's House will be officially open on December 1st to the Central Arkansas area. So if you're looking for in-person Reiki sessions, divination, aka readings, or any coaching or you need a vent, book a session and you can come see me. And to celebrate, we are giving 20% off all services for all customers this month only. Not only that, but if you book an in-person session the first week of December, December 1st through the 7th, at the end of your in-person session, you'll receive a 50% off coupon for your next service. Hey, we love a good deal, right? If you're on my email list, you folks are receiving 30% off this month. Not only that, but I'm doing a giveaway each week. So each week, if you share our posts, tag me in them, let people know what we're doing, let people know that we've reopened, you will be entered to win a mini service of your choice on the last week of the month. All who have shared our posts, whether you won or not, you will get a chance to win a free full service bundle package.
Painted Cab, luxury cab company.
And these are full services, not mini services. So a full spread reading, a full Reiki session, a full breakthrough session, or whatever you need, you will get a chance to win a free bundled service package. These are some good deals. December only, because we are celebrating our reopening. So help us make our reopening a grand one. Not only that, one more update for you. The Visionary Party is back December 20th through the 22nd. This year's Cosmic Dreams editions. If you know, you know. If you don't know, go to maxthedivine.com and find out. So again, we are celebrating our reopening this month. 20% off all services, 30% off for email subscribers, an additional 50% coupon for those who book in-person sessions the first week. RSVP for the Visionary Party today. It is free. I didn't say that before. The Visionary Party is free. So tell a friend to tell a friend and come join me. So this is community posts. We haven't done this since I think May or June or July of last year. And so we're back. Now, before we get into the divination, let me give this message that may or may not come out in the cards. It's been a lot of things delaying me from recording this video. It is 4:40 p.m. and I had intended to record this video at 8 o'clock a.m. That was the plan, but it didn't go like that. It seemed like literally every step of the way, it was something delaying me from getting to this point. I'm talking about the camera, the microphones, background noise, file type, like all the works. And so sometimes things will constantly get in your way. There will be obstacles that you have to jump over, go under, go around, or go through. But you have to be able to have the discernment in the moment to figure out what those obstacles mean for you. And it can be different each time. So you have to figure out, are these obstacles tests for me to see if I'm going to keep going, to see how I'm going to respond or react, to see how resilient I am, to see how bad I want it? Or are these obstacles redirections for me to just wait or to go in another direction? And so for me today, it was both. Um, I was trying to I had envisioned doing this in our new space. That didn't work out for several reasons. I had intended on using a camera that I had just gotten. That didn't work out for several reasons. So here I am in my own space using the camera I was using before, which was working. But I thought this new camera would, have some features that would help me to eliminate some steps and eliminate some part of the setup. Didn't work out, and I think that camera's going back. Anyway, here nor there. It's 4:40, and here I am because I'm like, no, I'm gonna get this video done. I did have a thought like, okay, I can just start fresh in the new year. No, I'm gonna do this right here, right now. And so while this may not be our typical altar community post setup, you still gonna get these messages because it doesn't matter. You work with what you have. So take that or leave it. If it's for you, it's for you. Now, let's get into this divination, child. We will be using the Chalks of Kikongo Oracle deck, my favorite. And we'll just be asking about our guidance for the month of December. Asking Source, asking our ancestors, asking our guides, asking our Oris, our higher selves, to come forth and be present with us in this moment. We want to give them gratitude for showing up for us, for always being there for us. Whether we feel them, whether we see them, whether we know it or not, we give gratitude for them being there. We give gratitude for their loud, clear, and direct guidance for us. We give gratitude to ourselves for being patient and allowing the message to further reveal itself outside of this video, outside of the words that I speak, because your own spirit and spirits will speak to you. And so take what fits, leave what don't, and definitely use your discernment, use your spiritual gifts, use your intuition, use your feelings, your emotions to gauge and discern what other messages are around for you. Okay? I've already cleansed these cards. So, Source, Great Spirit, Ancestors Ori, thank you so much for all that you are and all that you do. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank you so much for your loud, clear, and direct guidance as always. We would like to know what guidance you have for us this month of December 2024. What do we need to know? I'm going to take a moment to ground my energy. I feel myself a bit, I'm not going to say anxious, but I don't feel as calm and grounded as I would like in this moment. So if you feel the same, take this moment to take a few deep breaths with me. If you don't feel the same, you can feel free to take these moments with me anyway. Or you can fast forward. It's up to you. That's better. I started smiling because I could hear a certain bird that I always hear in the neighborhood. He has a certain, she, they have a certain song And I could only hear them distantly, but in the moment of quieting myself, I'm hearing the raindrops. And I heard the bird, and that was, Spirit speaks through birds, so that was kind of a confirmation for me. But I do feel much, I don't know if you can tell, maybe I'm talking a little calmer, a little slower, but I'm going to try to calm down the pace, because I know you can feel energy too. So I don't want to give y'all no anxious energy. Anyways, let's shuffle these cards and see what the spirits have to say to us. Y'all know I take notes, so I might pause and take some notes. If you see me looking away, I might be looking out the window, or I might be looking at my screen and make sure everything looks good. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Catch these messages, right? Alright. I'm excited. It's been a minute. See what we got here. Great Spirit, Source, Ancestors, Unravel. So we've got Unravel. I'm going to read upright and reverse. Take what you feel. And y'all know how I read. I'm going to read these intuitively. Then I'll read from the book so we catch all the messages that we can. So Unravel generally talks about, let's say, shadow work. Okay? This is digging deep into yourself and unraveling all the layers. Getting to know your true self. So this could have a variety of context depending on who you are and what's it to you. But some of y'all see this little cross in the middle. For me, that indicates me, a person. And these arrows and these spirals are you unraveling yourself into these directions to see what you uncover, see what you learn. So some of you need to do some shadow work. Shadow work doesn't have to be, so generally shadow work talks about uncovering and digging deep into the shadow self, or the hidden parts of ourselves, or the parts that we don't necessarily like to shine the light on, the parts that we don't necessarily see in a positive light. And so for some of you, you need to be investigating those things, asking yourself the questions: why don't I feel positive about this? Why is this something negative to me? For some of you, it may be nothing that's negative in that sense, but it could be things that are holding you back, things that are keeping you stagnant. It could be habits, it could be people, it could be, ways. You know how people be like, you stuck in your ways? You might be stuck in your ways, and it could be something big and egregious. It could be something small and simple that you might need to just shine some light on. You never know what information you might collect from that. Whether or not it's something that you need to change, it's definitely something that you need to see and investigate and know a little bit more about and understand. Now, it was in reverse-ish. So some of you need to come out your shadow work bag. Some of you have been digging too deep. And I think this is maybe the message for most of us. You've been in your shadow work bag, whether you're intentionally journaling or saying, oh, I'm doing shadow work. But, you're constantly looking for areas of improvement for yourself, which obviously there's nothing wrong with that. We should always be growing and improving. But you also have to give gratitude for where you are in the present moment. Recognize that you're not where you were before, and recognize that you're on the path of where you're trying to go. So you don't have to keep digging and picking yourself apart. You are okay. We're on an everlasting healing journey. So you don't have to harp so much on the healing process or the shadow work. Like, you've done enough. Congratulate and celebrate yourself for all that you've done. Okay? I've got something. Well, you can't see it. Maybe I'll insert a picture of it. But it says, you don't need any more information. you need more implementation. So it's like, take what you've learned and do something with it. Like, you didn't collect that information for nothing, right? So I'm gonna set that down for now. Great Spirit Ancestors will read. What else? What else? Give us some more messages. Give us some more guidance. Give us some more context. I intend to pull 4 cards out of this. And of course we'll loop them all together. But we just kind of getting warmed up. Getting fresh into this. This isn't even normally how I read or do spreads. So, you know, it's a new season. And I've been literally having to work with that. Like, things aren't going as planned. Things aren't as usual. What do you do about it? Do you try to make them the same? Do you try to hold on to it? Or do you just flow with the change? Our next card is ancestral work. And so with ancestral work, literally how it sounds, we need to be doing ancestral work. And depending on what your practice is, that can look in many different ways. Nobody's spiritual journey and spiritual practice is exactly the same. So do what works for you and your ancestors. But this could look like, you know, doing ancestral studies, getting on ancestry.com or getting into archives and learning about who your people are. It's a holiday season, so those of us that are blessed to still be in community with our families, maybe you go and speak with some elders, ask about your ancestors, known or unknown. Ask like, hey, how about the people before us? What were they like? Who were they? What are their names? This is a time to tell stories, speak your ancestors' names, whether you know them or not. If you have an altar, clean your altar, do some altar work, sing at your altar, dance at your altar, ask your people what they need, offer cool water, offer fresh water, offer a meal. There's videos on that, but like, that's one physical way to be doing the ancestral work. Now, ancestral work also happens through us. So for those of us digging deep and doing that shadow work and healing those shadows, we're also healing that through our lineage. It may be some shadows or some things, some baggage, some habits, some whatever that have come from our ancestors through our lineage that we have also. It may be us that's breaking that generational curse. Or if we're digging back, it may be us that, like, if we're doing shadow work, like I said, it doesn't have to be bad. It could be some things that, so unraveling, right? We're talking about uncovering, digging deep, finding information within ourselves. So it doesn't have to be shadow work, negative things. It could also be our gifts, revisiting some creative gifts that we have, revisiting some special skills that we have. Now, again, some of these things have come through the lineage. And so some ancestral work is doing what they did before you, keeping tradition alive, right? And in just looking at this image, we know in the first one, the little cross in the middle, this was kind of indicative of a person for me. And this, the same as well, but you see how the circle starts here and the arrow goes down. It's giving that the ancestral work will ground us, right? Keeping our ties with our ancestors, keeping our ancestors fed, staying in community with them, doing the ancestral work also helps to keep us grounded. You know, they got our backs regardless, but if we give them a little effort, it goes a long way to keeping us grounded, to keeping us planted and standing upright and moving how we know we should in this world. So that's all I'm gonna say about that right now. So far we've got unraveling and we've got ancestral work, and so our message so far is getting to know ourselves better through our people, through our own habits, and also doing what we can to give reverence to our ancestors or learn more about them, because the more that we learn about them, the more that we learn about ourselves. We're unraveling, and so it's clearly something within you that you need to be finding out. Great Spirit Ancestors or read. Uh-oh, there's one. Cosmic Dreaming. Now, I'm going to take a moment to plug Max the Divine in here, which is me. I dropped an EP, and the first song on that EP is Cosmic Dreams, inspired by this card.
Light on my toes, I'm feeling free. Placed in the center of a circle. Look around and I see me. Damn.
Cosmic dream. It's more than just a cosmic dream. You know that you're a cosmic dream. Believe in all your cosmic dreams.
Shout out to Aginos. Shout out to Sister Sharifa B for giving me her blessing to use this card as my inspiration for that song. You can go to maxthedivine.com and stream my EP. You can go on all streaming platforms and search Max the Divine or For My People EP Reflections of You, or search Cosmic Dreams. It's on YouTube. You can go there too. Anyways, so Cosmic Dreaming talks about literally dreaming big. Some of us, we out here playing small. Cosmic Dreaming, if you think about the cosmos, it's just this vast, infinite being, right? The heavens, the stars, the cosmos, the galaxies. And Cosmic Dreaming talks about knowing that the cosmos is within you and you are within it. I know that sounds big and woo-woo, but we're literally made of the cosmos. Everything happens spiritually first, as above, so below. And so Cosmic Dreaming talks about, are you playing small? Do you remember who you are really? Do you remember how limitless you are? Or have you forgotten? And I love how this is coming all together. So if we're unraveling and doing our shadow work, and we're investigating, learning about ourselves, learning about our ancestors, doing ancestral work, chances are that this work here is going to remind us of who we are. Now, maybe we already know, okay? And so Cosmic Dreaming is just a reminder that what areas are you playing small? What areas have you placed limitations on yourself? Where are you doubting yourself? Are you allowing other people's opinions and doubts and thoughts to creep in and dictate what you have going, to dictate the vision that you have for yourself? When you do that unraveling and that ancestral work, those things will be revealed to you. Because it may be some things that you don't see, right? Some of us in our everyday lives, we're constantly around other people, around other people's energies and thought processes, and we can get dirty. Like, they stuff can rub off on us. So some of us need some spiritual baths, prayer, whatever you need to do for you, whatever works for you. You need to get that up off you so that you can find clarity within your own energy and your own visions, right? And that's what that unraveling is going to help you to do. You're going to unravel so you can see what serves you and what doesn't serve you. You're going to do that ancestral work to help you learn even more, and to also help you clear some of these blockages out of your path and get you to remember who you are and how limitless you are, right? And even give you inspiration to dream bigger. Give you audacity to dream bigger, right? I hope this is making sense. Ancestors, Great Spirit, or Reeds. One last card. What else guidance do you have for us in this reading? This one's finna flip. We've got balance. It was kind of reversed. So balance, plain and simple, is what it is. Balance is a universal law. We must have divine balance, right? So it being in reverse tells me we out of balance in a lot of ways. And I mean, it makes sense with all the other cards. Like I was just saying, sometimes other people's thought processes and energies are bearing too much weight. We're putting too much of our energy over there, and that leaves us imbalanced somewhere else. So if we're giving all our time and energy and attention to, let's say, this job or this person or whatever it is, then where else in our life is our time and attention lacking? Is it in your wellness? Is it in your self-care? Are you in community with your people? Those are my cats saying, no, you're not in community with me because you in here working. So funny. But you see, like literally, in real time, what is imbalance? Imbalance and not imbalance. So I'm saying imbalance, but you might just be hearing imbalance. So we must have a balance of things. Like, I'm not even gonna try to say make it more than it is. It's literally what it is. And so tying all the cards together, we're unraveling, we're learning about ourselves, we're working with our ancestors, we're doing the work to remember who we are and dream bigger and dream limitlessly and figure out what's holding us back, where we're playing small. We're also figuring out where we need to find balance. Now, I said as above, so below earlier. That could be one way that you look at this. Are my spiritual efforts balanced with my physical efforts? So maybe I'm doing all the prayers and all the ritual work, but I'm not putting in the actual physical work to do whatever needs to be done. Maybe I am pushing and doing all the physical work, but I'm lacking on the spiritual side. I'm not doing my ancestral work. I'm not doing my self-care. I'm not doing my spiritual baths. I'm not doing my divinations, right? Also thinking about give and take, push and pull, right? So opposites, duality. So maybe it's a divine feminine and masculine energy thing. Maybe you're too much in your head and too strict and too rigid about the physical aspects of things, working hard, pushing hard to get things done. And maybe it's working for you, maybe it's not, but you need balance of the feminine energy, that pause, that rest, that reset, that play, that joy, that ease, to help bring the rest of it in balance. You'll get more information. You can sit and allow things to work out for you. You can receive things as opposed to having to physically, mentally put in all the work on your own, and vice versa. So excuse me, December's messages are really about getting to know yourself, cleaning up shop, cleaning up house, understanding what's serving you, what's not, understanding what it is that you need to do or who it is that you need to be in order to be your best self, right? Yeah, I'm looking at the cards because I'm just trying to see what else I'm picking up intuitively. And so it's really like you need to spend more time getting to know yourself. Your ancestors are trying to work with you on this. You need to work with them as well. They're trying to work with you so that you can remember who you are, so that you can stop holding yourself back, so that you can get to where you're trying to go. They want it just as bad as you want it. The universe source is trying just as bad to give it to you as you are trying to get to it. But there's some things that need to be brought into balance in order for you to get there. And doing this work, getting to know yourself and working with your ancestors, and removing the limitations, the limiting beliefs, the restrictions that you have around what's possible for you, your goals, your dreams. Doing all of that work is going to bring things into balance for you. And when things are in balance, what do you expect? Harmony, right? So it seems like December is about doing the work to bring harmony back into our lives, doing the spiritual work the physical work. Yeah. To bring that balance. So let's get into the book and see what else Spirit has to say. Unravel, it says, often we must go back to move forward, reflecting on past experiences with the intent to understand its effect on our psyche and behaviors is vital to our spiritual, emotional, and mental growth. Sifting through childhood wounds and unearthing family and generational traumas are no easy tasks. Be patient with yourself. Be accepting of yourself and be honest with yourself. Don't avoid doing the shadow work. Unravel yourself so you can continue to create your energetic footprint with clarity. Other meanings. Rectifications are due. Be prepared to apologize, accept an apology, or both. Your healing is your responsibility, not anyone else's. Do not use your shadows as crutches or allow them to disable you. Work through them to work above them and put them to work. Unpacking our life's bag makes the road ahead a lighter journey. And then so in reverse, it really indicates, leave it alone. The situation does not call for your meddling. Your attempt to intervene will make things worse. And change your perspective. Focus on what is working instead of what is not. So like I said, for some of us, we need to be doing shadow work. We don't need to skip over those things. We need to stop looking over them. But instead, take some time, be a little bold, be a little courageous, and find out where these things come from, why these things are persistent in your life, and why you're holding on to them, why they're holding on to you, and what may need to change. That's a process. It ain't going to be overnight. It's probably lifelong because we're constantly experiencing different things that may become shadows for us, right? And then again, for some of us, we've done enough shadow work. We don't need to do more. We need to just change our perspective and see what's actually good, right? What is working? Stop focusing so much on what we don't see as the greatness, right? And focus on what we do see as the greatness. So ancestral work. Oh, never mind. There's some dig deeper questions. So dig deeper questions ask, how honest are you in recognizing your shadows? How do you grasp the concept of living with and above your shadows? How have you allowed your shadows to control you? Do you transmute the poison into medicine for yourself and others? And in what ways is your shadow work also what? Ancestral work. Leading us into our next card. Y'all see how this works? So, for ancestral work, I'm sorry, let me check the time. So for ancestral work, it says, it is our responsibility to take care of the dead so that the ancestors can continue to take care of us. This reciprocal relationship is essential to maintaining harmony between the two worlds, the world of the living and the world of the dead. Keep your ancestors' names and spirits alive through the telling of their stories and the passing down of their names. Perfect grandma's peach cobbler recipe, string uncle's guitar, braid like auntie. Remembering our loved ones who have passed on is one of the greatest ancestral works we can do. So other meanings here. It's above you now. The situation requires assistance from the spiritual realm. Seek the guidance and support from your honorable ancestors. Tend to your dead folks. Clean their altars. Feed them. Offer them their favorite drinks. Light a candle in their honor. Pray for their elevation. Talk to them. This is ancestral veneration. This is ancestral work. Unpopular opinion. You are tethered to all of your ancestors, the honorable ones and the dishonorable ones. Choosing to ignore your disreputable ancestors is choosing to ignore pieces of yourself. Ancestral work involves being uncomfortable. It involves setting boundaries and commanding rectification. It involves demanding that all of your ancestors work in alignment to your greatest good. Do not confuse a disreputable ancestor with a useless one. All in all, be patient with yourself when doing this kind of ancestral work, as it is interrelated to your shadow work. Recognize and acknowledge what you have inherited from your family lineage. Claim all debts paid and all blessings a birthright. Some dig deeper questions. Are you consistent in your ancestral veneration, Or do you only tend to your ancestors when you need something? How do you venerate your ancestors that reach beyond setting up an altar? And what part of your own healing is linked to your ancestors' healing? So again, doing shadow work and changing our perspective, but also working with our ancestors, tending to them, setting up an altar, or, we are the first altar. So how are we being in community with our ancestors, whether we've got an altar space or not, whether we're at the altar space or not? And how do we recognize that doing our shadow work also helps our ancestors? How do we recognize that when we feel like we're in trouble, we can go to our ancestors, but beyond us being in trouble and needing assistance, are we in a balanced relationship with our spirits, right? It's give and take. They do for us, we do for them. So essentially, are you working your own spirit, and are you working your ancestral spirits? Are you in community with them? Are you asking for their assistance? Are you tending to them? All of these things help you live a better life. Let's get into cosmic dreaming. I love this so much. Cosmic dreaming. It says if your dreams, visions, and aspirations don't scare you, then they aren't big enough. Our visions are gifted to us from the cosmos. They already exist in the universe long before we materialize them. See with your spirit, lead with your heart, and execute with your head. Something special happens in the universe when you say yes. Other meanings. Stop offending the universe by playing small. Pay attention to your dreams. Jot them down in a dream journal and revisit them later. Learn your dream language to decode the embedded messages. Now is the time to entertain your imagination. Tap into your inner child for support. It may be a good time to study your astrological natal chart. Learn what planetary energies are working with you and how you can better work with them. And some dig deeper questions. In what ways do you self-sabotage your ideas before giving them a chance to blossom? Do you allow your fears, anxiety, and pessimism to talk you out of pursuing your goals? And do you allow your imagination to run wild, or is your vision limited by what your eyes can see? Now, some key things I want to bring back out in this is working with planetary energies, studying your natal chart, tapping into your imagination and inner child, and also dreams. So before I talked a lot about dreaming bigger, right? Not playing small. But also, as we're doing ancestral work, as we're doing shadow work, or changing our perspectives, our imagination, our dreams, and our natal charts, planetary energies, astrology, these are also ways to learn about ourselves. Your natal chart is basically a snapshot of the sky, of the planets, of the cosmological bodies when you were born. And so what energies those planets have, what energies and effects what am I trying to say? What effects the energies of those planets have on you, on your personality, on your spirit, right? You can learn more about yourself through these things. Also, your imagination and your inner child. So if you don't know this, your inner child is basically your key to source. This is your source. And so allowing yourself to operate from that inner child, from that imaginative, endless possibility realm, will give you different perspectives. It will give you bigger dreams, but like perspective wise, it allows you to see things from a different way. Like the dig deeper question, it says, do you allow your imagination to run wild, or is your vision limited by what your eyes can see? These eyes, not this eye, right? Not your heart, not your spirit. So use all of your senses, physical and spiritual senses, to learn more about yourself, and also, discern and download messages that you need. Your dreams. Some of us, a lot of us, messages come in dreams. You may not understand them. That's why it says learn your dream language to decode the embedded messages. So that can take time. But if something really stands out to you in a dream, look it up. Ask your spirits, what does that mean? When you see something that resonates, take note of it and pay attention. Okay? And then, like we said, stop playing small. So again, we're getting to know ourselves. We're working with our ancestors. We're clearing out shadows. We are changing our perspective so we can see better, see ourselves better, see our lives better, see our ancestors better, and figure out what we can do to use that information and create the life that we're trying to live. Yes? Yes. Last card, balance. It says, with everything we do in life, we strive for balance. Maintaining balance is universal law. We must be mindful of leaning into the extremes of either side of the spectrum. Too much water has no structure, and too much fire is destructive. Too much air provides no footing, and too much ground causes stagnation. The objective is to harness and yield opposing energies harmoniously as they work as one accord. Other meanings, it says, for light to exist, there must be darkness. For darkness to exist, there must be light. It is the equal existence of both that creates balance. Female energies and masculine energies are different yet equally essential. One should not be regarded as more important or powerful than the other. Thinking without action and action without thinking is non-progressive. Put both in motion and watch things begin to stabilize and advance. Be mindful of engaging in excessiveness. Too much of anything can be toxic. In reverse, which it came out, it says, walking a tightrope is a dangerous game. Stabilize your position before taking your next step. It also says, imbalance within the partnership causes it to sour. And the dig deeper questions are, when faced with opposition, what tools do you use to stabilize the situation? How strategic are you in implementing sweetness and coolness energies to achieve your desired outcome in situations? How are your excessive ways bringing about imbalance in your life? In what ways can you strive better for internal balance and harmony? How do you honor both the feminine and masculine energies within? How do you honor both the feminine and masculine energies within your family dynamics? And so I want to go back some. Of course, we talked about masculine and feminine energies. We talked about opposing forces, being able to bring things into balance. That's how we make things harmonious. That's how we make things work. We can't just lean, like I said, don't lean too much into either extreme, either side of the spectrum. You want to be in a happy medium, happy middle, a balance of both of those sides to get you where you're trying to go. I want to emphasize the excessiveness. So, like we talked about with our first card, unravel, and our last card, balance, coming both in reverse. Again, some of us, maybe a lot of us, are moving out of that shadow work period. We don't need to be excessive in doing that shadow work. We need to do it enough to get the information that we need to move forward. And once we get that information, we can take it and work with it. And when it's time to do that shadow work again, or dig deep, or enter that shadow work era, then we'll know, and then we can do that. But we don't have to spend all of the time digging and trying to figure out what's wrong, because there's a lot that's right. Excuse me. So be mindful of being excessive in your shadow work, more than you are implementing or doing something with that information. I feel like the message is the message. Like, I'm not even going to try to add nothing to that. I didn't take no notes. I feel like it was pretty plain and clear. So we asked about December messages. This December, y'all, get to know yourself. It's cold out for most of us. For some of y'all, it's snowing. For some of y'all, it's raining. For some of y'all, it ain't doing none of that. But it's the season to slow down. So where you can, be intentional about slowing down. Be intentional about learning more about yourself. What drives you? What you love? What you're passionate about? What you're not passionate about? What drains you? What grinds your gears? What things you feel like you're holding on to that are holding you back? Things you need to let go of. What things were passed down in your family that serve you well or serve you not at all? Where are you playing small? Where are you lacking in imagination and ease and joy and fun? Are you working with your ancestors? Have you talked to them lately? Refresh their altar. See what they have to say to you. And do this all in the context of finding balance in your life. Okay? So, if nothing else, today, whenever you watch this video, once you're done watching this video, take 5 minutes, sit quietly with yourself or journal, and just ask, where am I playing small? What would I rather have? What would life be like if I had no restrictions, if I had no obstacles, if I had no doubts, if I had no fears, if life was balanced? Okay? For December, get to know yourself, do your shadow work, change your perspectives, work with your ancestors, dream big, find balance, do you. Now, we will be doing some of this. The timing of it is impeccable because the Visionary Party, December 20th through the 22nd, like I said, we'll be dreaming big, we'll be strategizing and alchemizing to make our next year our best year. And what that means is we're going to, like I just told you to do, we're going to take time to slow down and find out what worked for us this year, what didn't work for us, what are we tired of, what do we not want to take with us next year, but what did work well, and what should we take with us next year? What do we need? You know, me speaking for myself personally, I've been busy all year. I need rest. I need a break. I need to have some fun. I need to get to know myself more to see what I like to do for fun besides work, you know? And so we'll do that, and we'll dream big. We'll figure out what we really want without any restrictions, without any doubts, without limiting ourselves. We'll get that big picture vision. And then from there, we take the steps to strategize, put strategy behind it, put action steps behind it, and figure out how we can make it real for ourselves. So that dream that you have may be big, and no, maybe you can't do it in a year, but you can take 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 steps to get you closer there. Remember, the journey is the destination, and we're always in the process of getting to where we're trying to go if we're making that effort. So it is free, like I said, December 20th through the 22nd. You can go to www.maxishouse.us to RSVP. Again, let me remind you, we're offering 20% off all month long, all services, all customers. So if you feel that you need a deeper dive, a personal reading, or Reiki coaching session, breakthrough session, whatever you need, 20% off all month long. Celebrate our grand reopening with us. You can go to maxishouse.us to book, and follow us on the socials: Facebook, Maxis House; Instagram, maxishouse.us; TikTok, maxishouse.us. You can follow my personal pages as well. Underscore Divine Max on Instagram and Max Divine on Facebook. There's a space between the D and the Vine because Facebook don't let you just do that word. I'll link all my socials in the description box. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you comment and share. And let me know if this resonates for you. Let me know if it don't. Hey, it ain't for everybody. It's for who it's for. And I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. I will look forward to seeing you in your appointments and at our new home. Ciao. I love you. Be true. Be you. Talk soon.